So, Belly,
Mm-hmm.
have you been taking your vitamin X?
I've been meaning to talk to you about this.
Yes,
The
yes.
most pressing issue of the day, of the week. Shall we? We have guests. Can I add? But okay, it seems like they both want to be added.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it gonna
I don't
echo?
know. Okay, cool.
Is
Expected
Tor-
guess.
Oh
this
God!
audio
Sorry.
good?
Wait.
The
Yeah,
audio
it's
is
good audio. There we go. Look at
decent.
that.
Hey,
Wait.
Nina.
Hi. Nina wants to hang out because I've been playing Magic all weekend with a deranged person. So she's like, "How about we hang out a little bit?" So,
Wow! Don't export your
Yeah.
yeah.
your
That's right.
relationship.
Personal.
My relationship obligations before Valentine's Day have run over into the podcast.
Oh shit,
I,
that's tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
The-
I
Robin
have.
Elgenhinkle. Who's this?
Well, this of course is our good friend Robin Elgenhinkle.
Oh, Robert.
I
Yeah,
need-
I don't know. I like 3 weeks ago. I don't even think anyone even acknowledged this as a joke, and I don't think it deserved to be acknowledged because it wasn't a great joke. But I came up with the idea of random doxing, where you just make up a name in your brain, and then
Wait, is
that's probably a person,
Okay.
I love it.
and so
Well,
you're
you
like,
taking something from the dictionary or from the phone book?
no, I make
This
it
is
up
just
in my brain.
straight
I
from
haven't
the
checked if
dome.
Robert Elgin Hinkle is a person, but I'm going to find out now.
Yeah, throw that on the big screen, Tor. We have to. It's a random doc, so you can't be.
Yeah, how are you
Yeah.
doxing this person?
Because I'm saying their name online, and then I'm going to look at their LinkedIn.
What do you think that their life is like? What do you think they do?
I don't know.
This is the biography of Robert.
Right. This is taking a little while because again the G and the H key don't work, and there's a G and an H in this name. So I have to.
Do you?
Yeah, I just actually here. I'll show you my ingenious.
Yeah, how do you type?
How do I
You-
type? Well, whenever I need to get to a G or an H, I go to Google and I type ENOU, and then that auto completes to enough. And that's got all the ingredients I need.
Now, do you have Chrome, or how do you get to Google without the G?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. That I use Mozilla.
Okay, so do you have like a bookmark?
Fire. What? No, I just I bookmark would be smart, Belly, but that's I'm more of I'm a salt of the earth kind of person.
Or likes to cook by his, he doesn't like follow the recipe.
I don't follow the recipe.
No, he's a bad.
Right. Oh, I was looking up Elgin Hink.
This is great podcasting. I'm just hiding my entire face behind the mic.
Okay,
That's
Oh god.
What?
You might be able to make a shortcut. I do this with my email, so like I don't have to type out my entire email. I do a shortcut where it's like if I type 2 @ symbols, it auto fills my email. Or if
actually
I type @ symbols, that's my other email. You could do that for the
Whoa,
G.
this is too smart. This is
Techie.
it's too much work for me. You're using
There-
shortcuts.
Mhm.
He's like,
Like,
an
if I'm-
Excel girly. Damn.
if I'm desperate, I have methods that if I have to type something like big, I have methods where I have this like thing on my phone. I can turn my phone into a keyboard, basically.
Right.
It's kind of
sure.
I can like connect it to my that was my like when I actually had to like type something big up.
Desperate times.
I had to like
call for
really go.
drastic measures.
You ever send a cover letter to Ramsey County?
Oh wait, are you applying for a job in Ramsey County?
No. It was a different type of cover letter, but it's.
you applied to change your name to Robert Elwin?
No, it was a very polite screw you guys, but like in very polite things. I've been struggling.
Just the county?
What did they do?
What department in the county?
Just some well, look, when it comes to healthcare, you can't fuck around in this nation. So when Ramsey County screws up and loses forms and so this, and there's stuff you gotta be like, you gotta send them a per our last email type you gotta let them know that they screwed up a little.
Are you still puking all the time?
No, I'm not actually. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Did we solve it?
Yeah.
Are you no longer cutting? Is that the story?
What? Cut it? No, I'm not.
No, not.
Oh my God.
No,
like
I see what you.
not
I
like
see,
that. I mean, like bulking
Calorie
cutting.
deficit. Yeah, I still am.
You're still,
Yes,
yeah.
I still am. That's
Okay.
yeah. What I think it might have been was that somebody said that if you take fiber, it lessens your appetite. So I think I was going a little overboard with the fiber supplement I was using, and it was kind of it was getting all fucky. Sorry.
So I was, speaking of cutting, I did black box theater in high school, and there
What's
was
black box theater?
Like black box theater is like, how do you describe it, Nina?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what black box
Wow, things are really on the rocks.
There's a stage where everything's painted black, and it's like you're doing like small experimental one act plays that are written by the students.
Oh yeah, didn't you go to a magnet school, Zach? You went to like a theater magnet school, so
yeah, kinda.
That's probably niche. I've never heard of that either, but I can imagine what it's like.
So my first year we did a play that was about cutting. That was like the topic of it. But like obviously I'd never experienced or like knew what cutting was at all when I was in this play, right?
How old were you?
I guess so.
You
But
were innocent.
yeah, I didn't know that stuff.
Wait, how old were you, Zach?
Well, I was a freshman in high school, so I was like 14 or something.
Like middle school is like the heyday of cutters, though. That's when you.
Yeah.
You really did.
That's
You
when
really
you really
did.
cut your arm.
You grew up swaddled in glorious private school. Oh my God, there's cutters at private schools.
I didn't go to a private school.
Magnet schools aren't private school.
Oh,
magnet
right,
schools
right,
are
sorry.
like yeah.
Whatever, 12 years or whatever.
No, that's
I'm
actually
gonna cut-
impressive. You made it that long.
I'm gonna cut the queue of conversation
Thank you.
and change the subject to X-Files, what we started at. Tor and I. Our weekly.
You want to play the theme song and get this episode pulled from you?
Tor, I don't know if you saw, but
I saw.
Fucking crazy, dude. We have the
dude. There's snipers.
We've been
There's
marked by the demon.
Fire.
And ladies and gentlemen, just in case this is your first episode of this program, out of a while. This is our podcast that's dedicated to all things Magic the Gathering. Now let's talk about the X-Files for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I've still only seen 2 episodes of the X-Files.
Well, what episodes?
There was
I think they're the ones I forced you guys to watch. I forced you guys to watch for a Patreon episode.
Yeah, I think I watched that one, and I think was that the one where there's like a bunch of killer bugs.
Oh, you mean the cockroaches?
Maybe, yeah.
There's multiple killer bug episodes.
Okay.
Was it the one with did it involve smoking or did it involve cockroaches, Zach?
I can't remember. It's been too long.
Did it have Jigsaw in it? Because that's a great episode. The Jigsaw killer, the guy who plays Jigsaw.
Oh, okay. I also haven't seen Saw because I'm too scared.
Nina, have you seen any X-Files?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe I did when I was young and forgot.
Do you have any interest?
I would watch it. Mulder and Scully.
They're
hot.
Yeah. It seems like a kind of COVID binge show, right? The kind of thing that people really got into 2020 or whatever.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sure. I mean, people were binging everything.
I guess, people are probably getting desperate, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense.
Am I just going to get away with...
Survivor.
Am I just going to get away with saying Soplamos? Lester would kill me. He would eviscerate me for saying Soplamos. But
Really give it to Zach. Give it to Zach for that.
Yeah. I'm glad Mike is so psychologically like harmed Zach that even in his absence, Zach can't help but like punch himself.
Every time you screw up something in your head, like invisible Mike just appears
with a water bottle like a cat.
Yeah, well, I've been kind of binging it. I feel like I've talked about this, but it's like the perfect show to have on as I work because I can really just tune out and like listen to the soundtrack. Like the audio is so good. It's almost a constant. There's almost constantly music in the background.
Yeah.
So just on vibes alone and like Scully and Mulder talking, like I can just tune out for some episodes, which I think is making Tor sad, but
no, I
then
don't
I
care.
can just dive bomb back in and lock in for an ep or two. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm not gonna lie. There's very forgettable episodes of the X-Files.
Yeah.
Like I like, but you know when they hit so well.
Exactly.
Like the Peter Boyle one, the last his last retorter.
Yes, we just talked about that. I think on the last
we did.
Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose. That's probably my favorite ep, or in my top 3 for sure. I'd recommend it. I'm
Zach,
like halfway
watch
through
that
season.
Episode tonight.
Yeah, Zach, watch that ep. It's really fun.
Not on YouTube.
Can you like drop in on any episodes and kind of get
absolutely. All you need to, I would say, for most of them are one-offs. Like 60% of the eps, Tor, are like
avoid if you want to like try to avoid a lot of like the overarching story. Like look for double episodes because those tend to be the story episodes where it's be like part 1 and part 2. But if, like the standalone episodes are usually they call them like monster of the week episodes that are the story episodes are very satisfying. There's some good ones, but
yeah.
To just get into it, just watch. I don't know, like throw some episodes out there. Obviously, Clyde Bruckman's last
Repose, Final Repose.
Final Repose.
The guy Peter Boyle won an Emmy for that ep. Like that's how fucking beast mode he was going.
It's so good. Peter Boyle, he's the grandpa from Everybody Loves Raymond. If you need to put a face on it. Home, the episode Home is one you don't need to know a lot about. The X-Files do enjoy how insanely fucked up it is. Pusher is a fantastic episode. Belly, have you gotten to Pusher yet?
I'm looking up. I think I'm literally watching this ep right now.
It's so good.
I'm on season 3. Monster. I watched that today.
You watched that today? Hell yeah! I thought the character was really
wait. Can Belly with Tor? Ask some like basic yes no questions about the episode.
So this ep, I'll say I was like 60%. I wasn't fully tuned out, but I was like working as I watched it. So I apologize profusely, Tor.
What color does Pusher?
Oh, Cerulean.
Yeah, okay, he did watch it. He did fucking watch it. I was gonna start with who's Pusher, and I think that would have been too easy.
It's a good ep. It's a fucking good ep.
I would recommend. It's for Zach and Nina. It's a guy. Well, this is a long shot. Have you ever seen the?
I will watch it.
Have you ever seen the episode? Or have you ever seen the? Who's the director? Have you ever seen the Japanese movie Cure? Cure. It's basically, it has to do with like, basically Pusher. It's almost the same storyline, but Pusher is he's somebody that can like hypnotize you just by like talking to you. Ooh. So it's a very good concept.
Oh my god, it was written. The ep is written by Vince Gilligan.
Yeah,
Tor, your theory that X-Files is like the antecedent to everything is crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean it's funny because I think they're kind of a continuation because they obviously take stuff from like The Thing is like they did an episode that was basically The Thing, but like they really like they got all these ideas together in one series, and then you see like just stuff popping off from it. Like for example, the cordyceps, like from Last of Us, like that was like X-Files did that.
Oh.
X-Files had an episode like that, but it was like more of like a background thing. But it was, I don't know, it's very interesting. It's very I'm still formulating the theory, but like my theory is that it's kind of similar to like the South Park joke, like Simpsons did it, like where they were trying to come up with new things. It's like it's X-Files did it.
Sure, yeah. All the science fiction tropes that X-Files just did first.
Yeah. Like whole series just based off of like a one-off episode of the X-Files. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
God bless you, Vince Gilligan, and everyone else.
And Tor, don't tell me the answer to this, but one dynamic that I hadn't realized, but is like very compelling, is the sexual chemistry between Scully and Mulder. And I like, speaking of Pusher's the first ep where they hold hands as like a little embrace, which is like the most they've ever shown, really.
Oh.
And after 3 seasons, and I don't know where it's gonna go, but I do respect that they haven't done that. I think they knew they couldn't, I don't know, they couldn't have shipped them.
That's a long time. 3 seasons.
And not that I care, like I don't care one way.
It's that whole like will they won't they thing.
Yeah, I think.
Well, hold on, let Belly finish. I want to hear what he said. That is before I answer this.
I don't know if I care. Like, I definitely don't want to ship them because I think there is something about the ambiguity and like showing nothing that there's like their sexual chemistry propels the show kind of and propels their dynamic.
Okay,
that's all I'll say. And
so this is actually fantastic because you have no idea the amount of like pressure from like studios,
right,
the public, like while this show is going on, for them to be like, dude, like they were basically, it was the writers of the X-Files and Chris Carter just having this phalanx against all these like blithering morons that are like Scully and Mulder have to smash, and they're just like parrying every blow, every fucking blow. But like, here's the thing, like they have like those little moments, like there's some really like heartfelt moments, like they're like when you said they hold hands. There's I want to say the episode is Detour, where they like they're like, there's like a really good moment in that where they're like just stuck in the woods and like, but like I won't.
Don't tell
me.
See,
they find some very creative like things. They find some very creative like just basically, Belly, when you get to the episode Triangle, that was like kind of their middle finger.
Okay.
And
it's so fun to have like a guide when you watch a show who's like, just wait. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Triangle is like probably my favorite episode in television like ever, because it's one of the things you'll find as you get into later seasons, Belly, like they start just like having fun. Like they did like a found footage show. They basically like they put Mulder and Scully into an episode of Cops, so it's like filmed like found footage style.
Yeah.
Like so they just like one day they're like, let's make this found footage. Let's do a found footage thing. But Triangle in particular is they kind of teased like one continuous shot type of thing, and it's taking place in 2 different timelines, like one in like 1930s and one in present day, and it's just like it's 45 minutes of just perfect like storytelling and action, and like the climax of it is this like that song. we'll get demonetized, but but it's like this like musical set piece where like Nazis are just being like punched and like everything's going crazy, and it's perfect. And then at the end of it, you'll get like their like kind of like middle finger to like the Mulder and Scully shippers.
Hell
And
yeah.
then and that, yeah, but that's like the best episode of television ever. It's so, but
I wait with bated breath.
I would recommend against just watching that, because there's so much subtlety on like the character. Like if you need to know like what each character represents, like in order to kind of like pick up on all this, it's great. But yeah, I think we've talked enough about the X-Files. Thank you for indulging me. I've been rewatching them with Belly, so I'm like,
yes.
That's all I wanted to talk about. Sorry, Nina, what were you saying?
How many seasons are there?
Like 12, I think. But Mulder leaves after like the 9th, and he's replaced by Terminator 2.
Yeah,
Robert
the guy
Patrick.
who plays the I'm super intrigued to get there. And also of course they like brought it back in like 2018 or something.
That's one thing. I mean,
I haven't
it wasn't
gone there
awful, but don't watch the second new movie.
Okay.
Because that I don't want to say the storyline is bad. I actually kind of respect what they did with the storyline, or not with the concept of it. But yeah, that's one where they like kind of make Mulder and Scully's like relationship explicit, and it was kind of like why do you do this now?
Mm-hmm.
It's been 20 years, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. But I also the first X-Files movie is fantastic.
When's that? When was that? It
was like 1999 or 2000. I remember seeing it in theaters like when I was a kid. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. But again, we should probably move past the X-Files.
So anything else, or should we wrap up?
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, I have one thing I've been wanting to talk about for a few weeks.
Okay, I have another thing I'd like to interject.
Okay.
Let's get bellies, because we indulged X-Files for 20 minutes.
Which is, I would like a recap of Zach's weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know where to put that in the app.
You can put that towards the end. That's where like all the magic crap lives. That's okay.
This will only take like a couple minutes. It's not like anything big. I need to like figure out a way to communicate to my coworker that him playing recordings of him practicing guitar over the loudspeaker is not only embarrassing to him, it's embarrassing to every employee in the Domino's at the time.
Like he's playing his demos?
No, not his demos. He explicitly said one time, like, this is me relearning how to play after 10 years of no practice.
Is he just noodling?
Yeah, he's noodling, but he's playing it, out of the Bluetooth speakers, like, so everyone in the store can hear it, and including customers. And I have a lot of questions. I also want to, before you ask, I do want to say I do like this guy. I get along with him.
Do you like his music?
That's probably what makes it harder. The more harder to broach this.
He's not the most socially adept person. And he was also, do you remember the infamous Uber Eats order? When we played, what did my coworker order from Uber Eats?
Oh, yeah.
The same guy.
Doesn't he drink like 2 liter? No?
3
2-liter sodas of
not 2 liter. No, that coworker is Andy. Andy got fired because he relapsed on meth, and I actually have another segment we can do with what did Andy.
This is so funny. Nina's like this. She'll just be like sad. She'll like hear like someone relapse on that bad. Then she'll be like, "Oh, that's a bummer."
Yeah,
it's a bummer.
Because the guy, he's like
he's a junkie. Yeah.
He was a funny dude. He was like my workplace entertainment. He was the guy he would bring bags of ice from
this is
the ice guy. He just got canned.
Yeah, he came in one day and he was fucking Hurricane Andy, man. He's always kind of doing that thing where like somebody tries to be helpful, but they end up kind of being non-helpful and like screwing things. but like this was like dialed up, like he was like dropping everything and just like he dropped a pizza and he picked it up and threw it against the wall. This isn't funny because he's on meth, dude. I got the like Breaking Bad made meth seem way more chill than. All right,
So
I'll move. Andy, look, Andy, I love you. If you're listening to this, I miss you. I hope you get sober.
yeah.
And man, that voice memo you sent was pretty funny. But I'm not gonna read it.
Okay, so this is
anyway,
another coworker.
yeah, back to Noodle Man.
Wait, did he leave a voicemail for the podcast?
No.
Dominoes to the store.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a text message, but he was using like text to speech. So it's funny when like you see like words like pussy and bitch like censored out, but then like I'm going to decapitate you is not censored. And like
No,
that's crazy.
he didn't send it to me.
This is the guy that you were like, oh.
Well, you know,
She reacts.
life is hard.
She reacts about a meth head the same way she reacts to like a dog at the dog park having like a sprained ankle.
Yeah,
It's like, well,
I mean,
baby.
yeah.
There's kind of similar. There's overlap.
You know,
I mean, if you had to ascribe like a drug neurosis to an animal, like cats would kind of be heroin, and dogs would be maybe more of a stimulant, right?
Okay. Interesting. Interesting little comparison we're making here.
I'm not saying they display all the
I feel like we're doing like.
behaviors.
Carol's doing drugs now. She's on Prozac.
Oh yes, that's right.
Mhm.
Carol has started her Prozac journey.
How's that going for Carol, your dog?
It's going. Oh yeah, Carol is a dog. It's going okay. She's very tired now, and she doesn't want to eat that much. But now she started.
Okay.
Can I just say I'm glad you clarified?
Yes.
Because I thought we were just laying out some lady's like medical information.
Yeah. No, my grandma just talking shit about it.
That's
No,
what
that
I
is
was
a dog.
Yeah. She's a little baby. She's relaxing. Oh,
feel
she
like-
needs to the camera.
You want to come?
No, speaking of drugs, I did on like day 2 or something of the event. I'm like walking.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Well, I'm just walking to the venue site, and outside. I mean, it's in Colorado, right? It's in Denver. And outside, there's a bunch of guys vaping, smoking, doing what they need to do. It's like 9 a.m. and there's like 2 guys that are just smoking a giant dude. And it's just like it was so early for that. I was like,
They're
surprised.
They're turning it up early.
Yeah, it's reeked of weed.
Yes.
Legal, baby.
It's
And then they walked into the convention hall with you.
Now we have a real guest.
Oh.
Hello, Carol.
Hello,
She
Carol.
She loves. She also takes. What does she take when she's in
Oh
the
yeah,
car?
she takes trazodone to go on the highway.
Yeah, she gets
Aw.
scared.
That's so sweet.
Which one's
She
trazodone?
Should we just leave this? This is the.
It's the money
Look at
shot.
this happy, cute little family.
Really.
Aww. Oh. Should we?
This is pretty good stuff.
Yeah, this is nice.
Look, I don't know what the podcast is anymore. We're just talking about Xbox. And I'm cuddling my dog.
There was
and
a
I'm
lot of
just
dog cuddling like early on in the podcast.
Oh, that's true. We did. There was a lot of cuddling of Sadie and Leo. That was good stuff. But like
multiple
here's the thing.
podcasts. I was like spooning with Leo the entire time.
Yeah, that was good.
How's cannoli?
Oh my god. I'm getting so cat pilled. It's absurd.
Yeah,
I
your
have
gamer daughter.
my gamer daughter, Cannoli. Yeah, I'm I don't know what to say. There's nothing to say. Just fully on board. Here, I'll send the Twitter group chat a video I took
Please.
and some pictures.
Is she
Is that Oh, sorry,
comfortable
go
when
ahead.
she's settled in and everything?
Oh, for sure. She's super comfortable.
She's
Great.
still treating your wires like biscotti.
Treating what?
Your wires.
Oh yeah. Well, she's getting better, but sometimes I've noticing with cats, it's very stark with their like chill mode versus like crazy mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Where dogs you kind of expect, or like it's
Dogs
a
are more
little more
predictable in their cycles.
yeah, predictable. Where it's like when you come home or when they go on a walk, they're excited, or when they see food, you know, they're like very simple. But then cats, there's kind of an element of mystery of like, are you gonna go crazy right now? You know. Um,
Does she go crazy at night?
yes, she sleeps for most of the day, and then goes crazy like right when we're going to bed, and then at like 3 a.m.
she's an indoor cat, right?
Yeah, fully indoor.
Right.
Did you ever have like cats before Cannoli, or was this your first?
I've lived with cats twice. My roommate after college had a cat that I loved, and then my landlord, who I like lived in a house in like a second unit, and the landlord had a cat, and she was cool, and the cat was cool. But no, I've never had a cat other than Cannoli.
So nice.
Well, probably like soft they are. But dogs can be soft, but cats are just a different kind of soft.
Yeah, they're very sweet.
But Zach's cat is a stone cold killer.
Oh, well, that's the other thing. I was about to bring this up about my cat. Is that, well, yeah, one, she's been, like, she brought in a squirrel recently, a dead squirrel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she dumped it. I mean, that was a couple weeks ago. She dumped it in the basement, and I saw it. I had to pick it up and take it out into the trash.
Got it in the basement.
A squirrel is so big.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
you don't expect it. Like feels like you're like living through like The Godfather or something. You just walk down their basement. There's a dead squirrel at the bottom of the basement steps. And you're like, what? Whose message is this?
Yeah,
Right?
it's a threat.
But no, it's my cat thinks I cannot provide for myself, and she needs to bring home some.
It's to step it up.
She also like
She adopted you, Zach.
yeah, that's right. That's the relationship. She's my mother. I've got two moms.
You have two moms now.
Well, I got three moms, including my neighbor that gives me all of these goodies. So I'm just collecting moms. But
Is Sebastian your dad?
yes,
He calls the shots in that house.
yeah, Spencer kind of runs the place.
He does.
It was really cute though. He was singing to Bruce Springsteen the night before.
Oh,
For him. And he loves piano. Anyways, no, but here's the thing. How are you getting along? The one part of having a cat that I don't like is the litter box.
Oh,
I don't know about you, but like I don't know. It feels like this past year something's happened. Because Keegan's poops
your cat forgot how to shit.
they're
or
really
they're smellier.
I mean, it stunk before, but now it's just like, ooh.
That's something
And-
that happens to every animal with age, though. Is your shits get worse?
I mean,
Like
do they get
what? Yeah, dude. Dude, old people crap like it's like the nuclear
Yeah, it's like
crap like
bile.
enriched uranium.
I mean, okay,
Dude,
so yeah,
dude,
she's
no
getting
one
older.
can shit like an old person.
And she like shits like old person. But the other problem is that there's two litter boxes. Actually, I think there might be 3 litter boxes in the house. It's one cat. She's got
That's
her
probably
own
too
litter
many.
That's so
box,
many.
That's probably too many.
Yeah.
but she only shits in the upstairs one, which is in the upstairs bathroom where I go to brush my teeth. So sometimes it's just like I gotta take my toothbrush downstairs to brush.
That might be part of it. Maybe you're giving yourself like shadow shock of like the smell. Like when you go through the house and there's literally 3 areas, you like sniff the,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
How often do you clean it?
Like it's got to be daily because it stinks too much.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe you gotta switch
Yeah, litter.
brands.
Get a different litter.
Actually, I'm thinking about it. The only time I've ever thrown up from a smell was like a farm cat litter box. It's like at a family reunion in like Tracy, Minnesota, like just this tiny, this farm, and like there's just we're sitting down watching TV, and the door to the porch is open, and the porch is where the litter box was.
Mm-hmm.
I just
you just
like,
get a whiff of it.
It was like, I mean, this was a farm, so it already stunk. Like I had been dealing with smells like the whole day, and then.
But like cow manure isn't like too bad. Like eventually it becomes, you know, if you live in the Midwest or like you've been around farms, it eventually just becomes background noise.
No, dude, this was different, dude. Like this was like we saw all like she just had like a litter of kittens, so we saw all the kittens like rush like into like out into the house and like out of the porch and stuff. We're like, what's that? And then it hit us, and then I threw up. And then another person threw up. It was like it was insane. It was an insane smell.
Damn,
what?
Dude.
There's like
I don't think it was a turd. It was like,
oh no, we saw the fresh turd.
Oh,
the turd
really?
was like still coming. There was it was so bad.
Oh my god.
It was insane.
Ew. Wait, and
it was like oh sorry.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Running away from the turd.
They were running away from their mother. Like that's how insane this crap was.
They were like, we gotta go.
That's so crazy that they're like, yeah, we're gonna take our chances out in the farm.
Yeah.
There's actually a smell I've been trying to identify lately. There's like this
okay.
There's this apartment in Roseville. There's an apartment in Roseville. It's 1690 Highway 36.
Okay. Listener, go to that if you want to experience an interesting smell.
Yeah. Well, first you got to get buzzed in, right?
Okay.
So just hit every buzzer. I really want to identify the smell. I'm sorry, but and then go into the stairwell and it'll hit you. And it's like there's definitely like an ammonia aspect to it, but it's not just ammonia. Like it's unlike any. It's not like it doesn't smell like crap. I want to make that very clear. There's a distinct pissness to it, but there's some sort of like overpowering like you feel dread. Like so in like Warhammer 40K, there's like people without souls. And they're called like blanks, and just like being in the room with one of them will like fill you with just like existential dread. That's what this stairwell smells like, and so like so there's an ammonia aspect, but there's like it doesn't. I've smelled death before, like like rotting thing that used to be living.
Yeah.
I can't detect any discernible like smell of death, but I am reminded of my mortality when I smell this.
Is this just some portal?
I don't know. I don't know what it could possibly like. All I can like the thing I could think of the most is like, oh, there's a burnt hair aspect to it too.
Okay.
So like,
are they making meth?
That's a good point, but like it's just in the stairwell. I don't smell it, and this is a big building. Like it's not like a giant building, but there's a meth lab in the basement. I never smelled a meth lab. That's the thing.
I have to be quiet, but as someone who
Wait, speak up.
It's a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
I found meth, and then a lot of these pills made a lot of sense.
I never thought about the drug aspect.
Meth. Google it. It's meth, Tor.
Okay, but
yeah, maybe it's your buddy who got canned.
It's Andy.
He lives there, and he's.
Nina convinced herself of this because she saw a Reddit post.
No, because I literally found. And
Okay.
about it later.
Yeah. Oh, we've talked about it. Okay.
It's okay. They're getting it.
Oh god. So anyway,
that's my theory.
So how to break it to your coworker that plays guitar,
Oh,
plays himself playing guitar.
Well, I've been holding on to this for like 15 minutes, but like you said, the coworker's been noodling. Is it like an egg noodle or like a rice noodle? Maybe a vermicelli?
You guys want me to slap
Really
it or
I have. Is it like
Guys,
scale of
been
1
like
to 10,
40
Tor?
minutes. We need a riff.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I was trying to like find an approximation of like what it kind of sounds like. I was looking
Okay.
for it. Like I found something close. I'll share
Okay, are
it.
we gonna get copyrighted spot?
I don't think so.
Okay.
has he not given you his SoundCloud link? Like,
Ooh.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, can you
Or
ask him
has it
to
already?
send? I'm sure, given all of the context, I'm sure he would send you if you asked.
Uh-huh.
Some
Yeah, wait, hold
files,
on. Sorry,
and
sorry.
then we can be the judge.
Yeah, say you're gonna play it on your podcast. Yeah, he'd love it.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys just had the ad I just got scared me. I'm sorry. I heard some of what you just said.
Was it the halt? Was it the
Well, you know,
stairwell? Did you see that in the ad or something?
No, it was I paused it. You can't really rewind YouTube ads.
That's true.
But
That's
it has to do with fiber, and I said fiber earlier in this episode, and now I'm scared and angry. But
that happened to her.
they 100% like. I think in the past I've been like, no, they don't listen to you. Your phone doesn't listen to you and show you ads. It 100% listens to you and shows you ads. We were talking about so before my trip. Before my trip, I needed to drive to like these different game stores to get some cards that I was missing for the deck. So I drove to a bunch of stores, and I guess I left the light on in the car. And so over the weekend while I was at the tournament, the car died, the battery died. And so Nina drove me from the airport, from the Minneapolis airport home. And then my mom was like, oh, Nina, could you jump the car?
I've been stranded all weekend.
All weekend she's been stranded. She couldn't drive. Could you please jump the car? And then like that night, you got an ad for like car jumping or whatever.
Like an hour later.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, it's insane. All right, Belly, I don't know where this ad is gonna go, but I need us to explore it together.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Okay.
Are you ready? So we'll get back to my coworker, but let's see what this has to.
What about drinking lots of water? Nope.
You've probably seen this guy talking about constipation before.
Do this to clear out stuck poop fast.
He seems to know what he's talking about.
Kind of surprising, but diarrhea is actually a form of constipation. Weird, right?
Wait, what?
I hate this so much. I hate this so much.
I love this kind of like new advertising where the ad has to be like a TikTok. Like,
yeah.
I don't know who is it's an ad.
It's called. It's trying to be like a podcast, but also they call it user-generated content, where it looks like it's front-facing, like a TikTok.
But it's like obviously made by a company that makes these ads.
Yes, like they've hired this person on a freelance site to like cut. They hire.
Sorry.
Okay, then we're back to YouTube.
No, sorry. No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, so
We
Tor
actually
exited out of the ad
But I was
because
looking forward to watching more of that.
That guy is what I imagine Joe Lester looks like. He's really cleaned up.
He looks like the.
He sounds a little bit like Sam Talent.
I was gonna say the his name is like Jim Downey or something like that. He's like head of I don't know. And this is not important. This was the approximation of. I would say he's 2 tiers above what this is. I would say,
okay.
which out of like 10. This is I don't know. He's not awful, but it's this. Now imagine you're
tough.
working. There's like you're taking a customer's order, and this is going on in the background. You have to look a customer in the eye and act like this isn't ridiculous. I love the guy.
His funny.
I love the guy.
Have like a bad Smoke on the Water playing while you're like, okay, so you want Canadian bacon on that?
It's not okay. It's not that was classic rock. This is he's more of a Green Day
Okay.
kind of pop punky kind of. So it's more like I don't know what's the famous Green Day. Da 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 da. Yeah. So that's he hasn't done it in like a week or so. So I think maybe I'm in the clear. I was gonna bring this up earlier, like a couple episodes ago, but I just kept we ran out of time and stuff. But like, it's just I don't know. I don't know if it happens again. I just like I my method is I just go into the back. I go into like the bathroom or like the back, and I just sit there on my phone until like the customer leaves the store.
How long is he playing it for?
It's like it'll be well again like I'm in and out of the store, but it'll be playing and then I'll go on a run and come back 20 minutes later. It's still playing, you know.
Can I ask, is he like the manager or
No.
like?
Well, he is a manager, but he's not like he's not the GM.
Would a higher up be okay? Know about like does he do it behind their back like? In moments where he knows he can do this.
No, we can play. And
I'm not talking about narking on him. I'm just curious about his like mindset of like.
No, you can play music. Like there's like a communal Bluetooth Bluetooth speaker that like anyone can use. I use it like when I'm doing dishes and stuff. I always make sure if I'm closing with a guy, I make sure snag it before the end of the night. And,
so he opts to during his Bluetooth time play himself. Noodling
not every time.
Okay.
Not every time, but it may be like once a week. I'd say
what else does
it was the frequency.
Experience?
No, he plays like
a little bit of Jordan Peterson.
No, why do you automatically assume this guy's right wing?
I don't know. I'm just
wow, Zach. Check your biases, Zach.
Oh, you think he puts on Hassan Piker? He's like, can you imagine Aaron? Aaron probably puts on the Minority Report, the Majority Report.
Majority Report.
Honestly, I guess he
puts on Minority Report too. It's a great movie.
Be good too, yeah. I'm gonna tell
does
Aaron
control? Does Aaron is Aaron an insider now? Well, it is.
He's an AMC insider.
Yeah, 100%. He's an AMC sub member. Getting those deals.
It's just like it's very infrequent, but when it happens, it's just it hurts my soul and hurts. It's just like I don't know.
When we were in Denver, we went to this hip vegetarian cafe for dinner, and it was open mic night at the cafe, and people were playing music. And it was apparently it was the last open mic night ever at the cafe because not enough people were signing up to play music. So one guy just did like his entire he just did like a 50-minute set.
Whoa!
And he was just like he was great actually, just doing like guitar. Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
What was his name? Shout him out.
I don't know. He was good though.
He was okay. Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
He wasn't playing Smoke on the Water.
He was much more like I don't know, like TV on the radio. Felt like
TV on the radio is very electronic.
He got a guitar though. It was like an electric guitar. It was like a little louder, yeah.
You
all right.
Weren't
so how did
that sign up, Zach?
What's up?
To do stand up at
the my friends was like, oh, do you want to do a set? And I was like, no, I don't want to do a set to like our table of Magic players and then like some random like alt girls that were at the bar,
That would have been cool.
Zach, like, every now and again
older than like the crowd was like full of like looked like Denver college kids.
Mm.
And Zach, every now and again you get to like jump into a movie scene in real life. That was your chance. Yeah. You could have been that guy.
Could have shared your art with the world.
The worst
Zach.
person in the restaurant. Everyone would remember.
I'm just doing like crowd work. I'm trying to get a crowd work reel. I'm just being like, so where's everyone from? Denver. Oh, wow. What a shock.
When that jackass interrupted our music night.
To do his comedy.
But it wasn't your fault. It was a person you were with. It was their fault. They were the guy. They were like the restaurant owner that's like, "Hey, Ron Burgundy, play this flute for us or whatever." You could have.
Yeah, I dodged that, I think, which was good.
Speaking of Denver,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Zach,
it's
what did
time.
you do this weekend?
It's time.
Yes. So I played at the regional championship in Denver, Colorado, with good friends of the show, of the program, Greg Michael, who qualified for the Pro Tour, and also
Greg.
yeah, congrats,
Oh, Greg.
congrats, Greg. I mean, Greg's a beast. Greg had like a huge weekend because he wasn't qualified for the RC. He had to play LCQs in order to qualify. Because like the way the system works is that you have to like play some preliminary event to get an invite for the tournament that was on Saturday. And so they had some like they call them last chance qualifiers on Friday. So he did that. He spiked one. He got his invite for Saturday.
Like you say, he spiked one. Like we. Oh, does that mean he won it?
Yeah, basically, because you have to. He won
it in a spike manner.
Well, like spiking it just means that like like I guess the whole terminology of like spiking in Magic is like Magic rewards like you don't need to be like you know being consistently like getting consistently a pretty good record isn't that good in Magic. Like what matters is you do really good in like at least like one event that will like earn you invites to stuff, right?
Oh, I see. So there's like a spike in the graph.
Yeah, exactly. Like Magic rewards taking a risk. Like a lot of our team. Well, I'm not really part of the team. I was just like, I'm like a hanger-on of the team. I'm a friends and family plus one. For the team,
you clout chasing liar.
Well, what do you mean? Clout chasing liar. I'm like,
sorry, I'm taking
so...
Mike's role.
Zach, we're so proud of you. I
am very proud of you.
Yeah, I love you, Mana community.
True that I was not on the testing team. I was just kind of a hanger-on.
Yeah, but Zach, you're the man in the arena, okay?
That was your first Modern tournament, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it's my first ever Modern tournament. I haven't even played Modern FNM. I wanted to, but my cards didn't show up until. Okay, this was the annoying thing: is my cards didn't show up until like Wednesday. I was like driving to the store. I already said that I was doing that. But also, I bought 8 Rhinos tokens for this event because my deck is Teamer Rhinos. You need to make Rhinos, and so I bought tokens. I paid $0.25 per token, and.
Okay.
They sent me 7 Rhinos tokens and
that's
one
annoying.
spider token. What the fuck am I supposed to do with 1-2 spider token?
Is that like tournament stuff? Like, do they actually care about tokens?
No, you need something to market, but you don't need to have all the right tokens. And in fact, I'll be honest, like I was shocked how forgiving the tournament was in terms of like misplays and things. Because like it is competitive REL, which means that like, if you miss a trigger, like too bad, right? You don't get it, like that, all that stuff matters and your opponent will hold you to that. And I missed like, when you suspend Crashing Footfalls, I mean, that's the Rhinos deck, cascades and Crashing Footballs, it makes 2 Rhinos, or you can suspend it for 1 green mana and you get it 4 turns later. I missed some triggers. My opponents did too. Like that happens. I played a lot of Rhinos mirrors. But like there are game rules violations that I made and then I called on myself, and I thought that I was going to get a significant penalty, and the judge was like, all right, let's just rewind it and fix the game state and you're fine. Like for example, I have a card in my deck called Gemstone Caverns, which is a really cool card. If you are on the draw and you have the card in your opening hand, you can reveal it before the game starts and put it on the battlefield with a luck counter, which makes it tap for like 1 mana of any color. So you're starting the game with a land already on the battlefield. But if you do that, you have to exile a card from your hand. Like you have to pay that cost in order to put it on the battlefield. And so my first game and my second round, we look at our hands. I have my Gemstone Caverns. I'm like, oh, sick. I'm going to put my Gemstone Caverns down. I forget to exile a card from my hand. And like a turn passes before I remember. And then I tell my opponent, hey, we got to call a judge because I messed up. And so we call a judge, and I'm like kind of scared because I thought like, a turn had passed. I thought I might get like
palms were sweaty.
Yeah.
palms were sweaty because I was already down a game because I lost the first match, and like I thought that the judge was going to be like I thought either the judge would like issue me a game loss or that the judge would make me exile a card randomly from my hand instead of the card that I wanted. And I was like shocked. The judge was like, yeah, just choose a card now, exile it, keep going. I was like shocked. I heard.
I mean, it's probably it's like the fact that you were proactive made a huge difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
But,
you
like,
made it apparent that you weren't trying to cheat. I think that cheating is like kind of the biggest issue.
Yeah, but like, okay, I heard from like Greg, who qualified for the PT. He got caught twice. He called the judge on himself for shuffling Crashing Footfalls back into his deck after creating rhinos. That's a huge no-no. Like, because a real downside of the deck is that sometimes you spend all your Crashing Footfalls and they're all in the graveyard, and now you have no more ways to make rhinos. But if you shuffle Crashing Footfalls back into your deck by accident,
why did that happen?
because like when
He was
you
cascading, I think, and then he just put everything. He put like
Oh.
yeah, he
Cascade
put that
rhinos-
was at the bottom of the cascade pile, and he just like
Gotcha.
didn't realize it.
Yeah, so that's a huge no-no. He called the judge on himself. That's how you like stop from getting a game loss. Is you call on yourself and you're just like honest about the situation.
Yeah.
But like, that. Like,
You probably just like take out a Crashing Footfall, like take out one, put it in the graveyard, and shuffle.
Shuffle your deck, and then you're basically good. But that's like a thing because like I don't know. When I was in Summit, I got like this like warning for like marked cards on a warped foil that I opened that day. So I was like,
right.
So I don't know.
I imagine it's like there's variance too, or like it's all situational and arbitrary kind of like what judge you get and what day it is and what mood they're in. I don't know.
There's also just so many people playing. There's like
Are
over 1,000 people playing. Like, so they cannot like they have to be kind of lenient because like they can't just like fire off game losses on everyone. There's just so many people.
Is there I'm sorry, I took an edible before this. I had a question.
This is a great podcast.
There was
Cannoli.
There we go.
Oh.
Look at this baby.
she's in spaz mode. Oh, I've never seen her tail. So there's
Love.
That-
Oh, we can't hear you.
Micah, you're mute. Sorry.
She also just farted as I picked her up. Speaking of smelly cats.
So cute.
But let's see. I'm gonna change my cam to cat cam.
cat cam.
Look at her.
She's so
Oh, there she goes. Okay.
fun.
She just crop dusted you.
Yeah.
I love
Oh
it.
shit. I had a really good question. I was gonna ask Zach.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna be able to remember. No, I couldn't remember it before you came back. It's like, I mean, I bet it gets more strict as you go up the as like. But now I remember what it was.
Well,
are
that's
judges
the whole
paid?
thing is that there's this whole controversy, and honestly, this all is kind of like bullshit or whatever. But like in the finals, like I think in the final match that was on stream, the guy who won the tournament tapped his mana wrong for like Violent Outburst for his like Cascader. So it's like on camera. He didn't. I don't think he. What it's a Gruul spell. He's missing one of the colors. He didn't. He mistapped, and like it doesn't really matter. But like it's this whole thing online. People are like, why didn't the judges like notice it? It's like, I don't know. I guess everyone was focused on the game state and stuff, and they didn't notice that Magic is a complicated game. These are things that you can miss. I tapped. I had an opponent call me out like multiple times, tapping a fetch land for mana instead of cracking it for the, for the
Now that is a
land.
basic mistake, Zach. He has a right to call you out on that.
Oh, I mean, totally. But that's the thing. It's like, it's very forgiving though. Your opponent calls you out and says, "Well, you can't tap that for mana," and then you get to go like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll just fetch with it, grab the mana that I need, and that's fine, right?" Like you are not going to. I feel like.
Would you rather they just you're a cheater, and stand up and this guy's a fucking cheater. It's a loser cheater. He can't beat me fairly, so he's cheating. He's a cheater. Get a judge over here. I want to hit him with a gavel. This fucking cheater.
Cheater.
I think maybe because I have had this anxiety going into the weekend of not being familiar with Modern, knowing Modern has all these rules that you kind of need to know, right? You need to know how Blood Moon and Magnus of the Moon interacts with different stuff, how you need to know how Amulet Titan works, because you're gonna face Amulet Titan, and that's a really weird deck that's doing unhinged stuff, and you need to know all these rules interactions. And so it felt kind of embarrassing to be okay, I'm in this tournament and I'm making these sloppy plays and I don't get penalized for it at all. It's perfectly fine. But it's obviously
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, but it's obviously better that we do that than have people get have people get into awkward situations because they messed up their mana, tapping their mana. Even online, you're allowed to even on something unforgiving like Magic Online, you're allowed to retap your mana as long as the spell hasn't been resolved yet.
But
as long as the spell isn't fully cast or it hasn't been commit to cast or whatever.
Zach, you're not playing Street Rules Modern. Street Rules Modern, every player plays with a baseball bat next to their seat. If they see a rules infraction, they're allowed to one smack. They just stand up and whack you. They don't give you a warning. You try to play a Chrome Mox without imprinting, you're losing a fucking cheekbone, buddy. I'm gonna shatter your orbital. You're gonna have to. All right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn with Modern. I did some prep practice events on Friday. I did 8 rounds of Modern on Friday and then 9 rounds of Modern on Saturday at the real event. So, well, really only 8 rounds because I only lasted 8 rounds. My 9th round was for fun and honor. You needed to get I think you needed to get 7 wins before 4, and you could only have 3 losses on the day.
Okay.
6 wins, 3 losses. That's the minimum record for day 2. And so I got 4 losses in my 8th round. And then I was out.
So you were 1 away from going to the next day?
No, I was 2 away. I would need to have one. I would need to have won 2 and out on my final 2 matches, but I lost. Okay, so my tournament path was I played first against Rhinos and I lost. Then I played another Rhinos mirror and I won. Then I played, I think, against Scam and I won. I wrote the whole thing on our Discord. But I played. So I played against a bunch of different decks. I played against Amulet. I played against Yawgmoth. I played against Creativity. I played a bunch of Rhinos mirrors. I played against Domain Zoo, the new version of Domain Zoo of Leyline of the Guild Pack, and I won. So I played all sorts of different things. I think definitely the tournament, people came prepared for Rhinos. Rhinos was perceived to be the best deck. And a lot of people came with hate. A lot of people played Living End, which is just a natural predator of the Cascade deck because it's just a bigger version of the Cascade deck. They Living End, kill all your Rhinos, and all their stuff comes back from the graveyard. And your Rhinos don't go to the graveyard because they're tokens, so it doesn't do much. So it's very hard to beat living end. Yeah, our team pivoted to this ley line build, the 4-color or gay rhinos, as some people call it.
Is it rainbow rhinos or gay rhinos?
I think it's rainbow rhinos is what people are calling it. But gay rhinos
sounds so much fun.
I wish I had played.
Why is it called gay rhinos?
Okay, so there's this card from the new set from Murders at Markov Manor called Ley Line of the Guild Pact. And like every ley line...
They brought ley lines back?
They brought ley lines back. So if it's in your opening hand, you get to put it on the battlefield. And it's got like 4 green pips. It's crazy. But it's all hybrid mana, so it's a 5-color card. And it says that all your lands have all basic land types, and all permanents you control, or maybe it's just creatures, are all colors. So what it does is it gives you complete domain for free. So you have your domain, all your domain stuff is turned on, and it interacts really busted with Scion of Draco. The Scion of Draco is this 12 mana dragon, 4/4 dragon, for flying that gives other permanents you control. I think it's Vigilance if they're white, Hexproof if they're blue, Lifelink if they're black, First Strike if they're red, and Trample if they're green.
Okay, so Leyline makes everything all colors, and then he gives them a bunch of...
That means the Scion of Draco is a 2-mana flying 4/4 dragon with First Strike, Hexproof, Trample, Lifelink, like all these keywords, right? And most importantly, it's hexproof, so they can't even kill it. So that's pretty sick. And since Scion of Draco is 12 mana, you can put it in the Rhinos deck and not cascade into it. Because it's so...
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big upgrade for the deck. And what's nice about the ley line is that even if you don't start it in your opening hand, you can, because it's a multicolor card, it's all 5 colors, you can pitch it to free spells. You can pitch it to subtlety or force of negation, which is really important in the deck because the Rhinos deck wants to be pooping out bodies on the board for cheap mana, and then even if it's tapped out, having this free interaction.
So I see you did a good job explaining how that works. What's the gay part?
Well, the gay part is that
it's 5C.
Yeah, it's 5 colors.
It's rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rainbow came before the... Okay.
Yes.
Got me all excited. There was some weird, fan fiction written about this
art. Yeah.
So now they're gay rhinos.
Got me all torqued up and ready for steamy color pie interaction.
Anyways, Gay Rhinos is the big breakout deck of the weekend. And I was not on Gay Rhinos. I was on straight heterosexual cisgendered rhinos.
Cisgendered
missionary rhinos.
All
right, you got any final conclusions about the weekend?
Ooh, we're already wrapping up. Okay.
Are we wrapping up, Tor?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Sorry, we can keep going.
I could go a little longer.
I can keep
going. As a little treat for Zachy and our
let's let Zach.
I also have a spicy. Speaking of steamy reacts, I have a saffron olive tweet and thread that if there's time, but if not, I'll save it.
I'd love to. I want to get to the point where we're doing some magic bullshit on the show just a little bit. I miss doing the magic bullshit at the end,
Fair enough.
I'm a little bit hyped. Okay, here, if I'm allowed to say more stuff, I'm
of course. Zach, you're always allowed to say more stuff.
Well,
you're right. You got me.
I get to play it with the bottle. I'm pretty hyped up from the weekend. I didn't do fantastic, right? It would have been really nice to day 2. It would be a cool story. Day 2, my first modern tournament. But I think I played I made some
You
mistakes.
gave it a
but
good. You gave it a good shot. Give it a good.
And I did what I wanted to do, which was kind of scrap it out in a competitive tournament. And it made me like, I don't know, I had a lot of fun just like gaming all weekend, and it made me want to do more of it. So, you know, I think that's and also I made a lot of friends. So it's like the crazy other thing, is that just like hanging out with all these Minneapolis grinders and like.
I thought I came with magic content too because I thought this guy looked like Nicol Bolas.
Oh, that's true. He does.
Yeah, maybe he was the inspo.
That's evolved to like eats shoots and leaves, or like
That's
awesome.
a panda.
Bugs from the top of the trees, right? It can sit up.
I don't know what animal this is, to be honest. It's just I thought it looked like Nicol Bolas. I was like, that's Nicol Bolas, and I got to talk about magic.
Why did you have that open? Like, what were you?
Because I was prepared for this show.
Wow.
Prepared.
Yeah.
This was what
prepares. I'm like,
Tor's preparation methods for this podcast is, I don't know. It's like a trade secret.
I always just have areas we could go if we run out of steam. That's basically all I prepare. They're not good areas.
This is a plug, listener, to check out our YouTube if you want to know what Tor is talking about and the animal he speaks of. Check us out on YouTube.
Here's another great avenue that we could go down. I don't want to go down this avenue because we have more magic to talk about, but here's a note I have written down for tonight's podcast. Madame Web, ironic detachment. Please don't make this be a thing. Meaning, the idea behind that was that they're kind of like the star of it is kind of like marketing using like ironic detachment, and I hope it doesn't work.
I don't think so. I mean, what's the last like Sony Spider-Man spin-off movie that's actually hit?
They do pretty well, actually. The Sony side of it, like.
What Morbius bombed?
Oh yeah, Morbius bombed, but the Venoms do pretty well.
Okay.
And the Spider-Mans do well, obviously.
Yeah.
And the animated.
Well, okay, the animated ones are great.
But even the live action do really well too.
Well,
I think it's just Morbius. What's that?
Like the ones with Andrew Garfield. It's like the Tom Holland ones are like a Marvel co-creation.
Yeah, but that's still. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Coke. Oh, so you're not.
I don't count.
No Spider-Man.
I think. Yeah, I'm talking about specifically the spin-off stuff. Cause that's.
I see. Yeah. That's just Sony. Yeah, you're right. I think Venom does well. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, Venom has hit for them, but like I think the superhero the superhero landscape is so like it looks bad for the future.
So first Venom movie made their budget was 116 million, made 856 million. So success. Second Venom, 110 million, made 506 million. So, diminishing returns was still profitable. Mobius. 83 million budget, made 167 million.
Okay.
So it turned a profit. You never know with Hollywood accounting.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. And then the next one is so sorry, I didn't want to get us sidetracked on that. I wanted to say I wanted to try to mention how stupid my topics of conversation are.
Look, God, I think we're putting this podcast on too high of a standard. There's also, again, it's not a Sony movie, but like, I mean, we haven't actually talked about this, Belly, because you're a big Momoa guy, but Aquaman
too.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Well, here's one of my. You might be surprised to hear this, but I actually think Momoa is not a lead man, like a lead actor. Like, I don't think Aquaman, I think, was the exception in that it was kind of a meme and it was like riding the wave. But like, I think
did you attend that?
Of course. Riding the wave of fucking the superhero whatever craze. But I've watched a lot of Momoa stuff, and like, I think obviously he's a beautiful beautiful himbo man. I think he has pretty good politics. Not that that matters, but and he has amazing like fight choreography. Like he's an amazing physical actor. But I do not think he like can like lead stuff like shows or movies, and I think they honestly just peter out after a while because people are like, "What is this guy deal?" So
Like you were watching that show C, right?
See, yeah, I was.
He's kind of he's the main character in that, right?
He was the main character. I was the number one fan of C, and I'd even finish it. Like that's how boring it got towards the end.
So it got bad.
Yeah, it got bad towards the end. And I've watched a lot of like Dune. Dune is perfect because he's in this tight little role, this side role, and he can just fucking go off.
Khal Drogo,
Game of Thrones, right?
Just be like this, either an awesome dude or like just he's great at playing awesome dudes that like don't have to elaborate on much.
But that can't like sustain like a full lead role or like movie or TV show. All right, that's my theory.
No,
of why Aquaman 2 bombed.
You're in like, okay, so Keanu Reeves, right? I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he's the same. Like he has, but there has to be very specific, conditions for him to succeed in a role. Like I'm playing through Cyberpunk right now, and he's a big part of it.
Right.
And he's not a voice actor. Like he's not. He has to deliver these like kind of monologues, and it really takes you out of it. Like I think the look he's got for the video game is perfect, but like they should have just used him with a different person's voice. Because here's the thing, like now I'm playing in the expansion, and like Idris Elba is like in it.
Oh yeah,
and like
taking him to town.
It's like it's so night and day. Like Idris Elba is a good good voice actor too.
Yeah, too.
He's really like he's taking you through it, and you're just like, man, I wish like you could like I wish they could, because like the game is fantastic.
Have you seen Idris Elba's like his Gold documentary?
No, is that the one where he's talking about?
I think so. He got paid to do a documentary about gold by the World Gold Council, where it's basically just an advertisement for gold and gold mining, and it's basically propaganda. But his voice is good.
You know what?
Good for him for getting the bag.
His ancestors,
the gold bag.
Their continent was exploited for natural resources. It's time for him to get some buckage for that. You know what? Good for Idris Elba and good for the gold mining industry for giving a voice.
This podcast
is Black
sponsored by the gold mining.
How important it is to learn about gold prospecting and mining. You know what? They should
like with like diamonds too. They're having a PR like blitz now too, because lab grown diamonds are like getting proliferated and are way cheaper. And so like diamonds are also like going through the same PR.
Isn't diamond like, aren't they even like just propped up by like kind of artificial scarcity?
Oh,
like
sure.
Here is the the big company, and they kind of control like the flow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Very well, we should get back to Magic though.
Well, I want to see what this saffron olive thing is. I'm curious.
Oh, okay, right. Let's look at the saffron olive thing. But can I say, Zach, if you want a better breakdown, a more comprehensive breakdown of Zach's weekend, visit our Discord.
Yeah, it's in the constructed crawl space channel. I put a little tournament report. Some highs and lows, some thoughts from each round. I go into like detail. We'll clean up. I want to do this soon. We'll kind of clean up some of our channels in the Discord. Oh.
Okay. So here's the tweet from Saffron Olive. Hasbro, the anchor around Magic's neck. And then he is quote tweeting a Hipsters of the Coast like breakdown I guess Hasbro had a recent earnings call,
Yes.
which says Hasbro's Q4 2023 investor report is out and it's not pretty. In 2023, Hasbro revenue declined 15%, while Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming grew 10%, with decline in Hasbro's consumer products negative 19% and entertainment negative 31% segments.
Okay.
And then I was thinking we could scroll through this, but
Yeah,
whatever.
let's go.
I
No,
also
I'm
just
interested.
I love based saffron olive.
Yeah, I was
I wish
expecting
he had
a
said
whole-
the noose. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't tweet that on Black
Oh,
History
listen.
Month. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
So operating
Sorry.
costs, there's this whole thing with their film, and they're cutting their film and TV thing. I think the D&D movie did well, but it was very expensive. That was a problem for
That's
them.
incredible. That's
What about Barbie's Hasbro, right? What about the Barbie movie?
no Barbie is
Hell,
Mattel.
yeah.
Oh, okay. There's a different weirdo.
So does that mean we're not going to get those MTG Netflix shows?
Oh, that's been in development hell and essentially canned.
So it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
So we're not getting a Hasbro cinematic universe?
damn.
Yeah, if we're gonna go into some of the stuff, yeah, it does seem like Magic continues to grow, but at a kind of declining pace.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Speaking of the declining case, Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming segment revenue increase of 10%, driven by increase in licensed digital gaming revenue behind Baldur's Gate 3 and Monopoly Go. Tabletop revenue increased 1% only, so that's pretty interesting. I guess the increase they had referenced earlier was mainly, I guess you could say, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
And that.
So it wasn't even Magic that drove that increase?
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing is that Magic has grown, but it's kind of how much more can it grow, right? I guess we are this year we're gonna get the Assassin's Creed and the Fallout commander decks. So we're still doing the strategy of
flooding with IP.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it called? Saturation or market saturation.
Yeah, and then well, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I would imagine that Lord of the Rings was so successful that it had to factor in these sales here. But,
yeah, and that could be, depending on your feelings, could be a bad sign. Did they have 2 Lord of the Rings sets this year?
Yeah.
No, it was just the big one, the Universes Beyond.
They had a Lord of the Rings set, and then they re-released it around the holiday.
Right.
So
and that only contributed to 1% growth.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that just goes to show that, I guess, relative to the other stuff that year, Lord of the Rings was by far the most successful of the products.
Yeah. This is interesting for listeners who can't see the screen. Dungeons and Dragons was up 76% in 2023. Magic was only up 2%.
Yeah. Well,
and I guess they're referencing growth.
Can I show you? Or I'm just gonna read something. So I googled Hasbro Cinematic Universe and then just hit news articles.
Mm-hmm.
So June 10th, 2023. The Hasbro Cinematic Universe is officially here, 8 years after its announcement, in parentheses. June 10th, 2023. Every movie based on a Hasbro toy or game. So obviously doing a media push. June 12th, 2023. Did Transformers just introduce a Hasbro Cinematic Universe? August 1st, 2023. The worst cinematic universes. Transformers. There's been nothing since summer 2023. It's insane.
Yeah.
They keep trying. I respect this. I hope this gets off the ground. This is Sisyphean. It's beautiful in a way. It's let's get.
Well, I mean, this year we're gonna have Fallout and Assassin's Creed. Next year, there's gonna be some pretty big hitters. There's Final Fantasy and there's Marvel.
Oh, there's Final Fantasy coming for
Yeah,
Magic?
Oh my god.
Oh god.
So
And Marvel? Oh god.
and Marvel. So
Marvel is teaming
they're
up
gonna
with
be Modern Legal. So
Modern Legal?
yeah,
Wow.
wait,
so,
Hasbro is looking to sell the Dungeons and Dragons IP.
Yeah.
How
Well,
can they sell? Isn't that Wizards IP though?
yeah, but Hasbro owns Wizards, so
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Wait,
No, you
where
could
does it say that? Do I have that in here, or is that somewhere else?
Oh, sorry. I was looking at news articles.
I think that might be clickbait. I think, was it selling to Tencent? I was seeing articles about that.
yes, I heard.
Chinese own Tencent. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's
But I
probably
don't
clickbait.
think I don't. Why would they sell their like the only thing propping them up?
Well, I think
Apparently.
because they probably expect to make more money off. Like they probably expect that like
Sell high.
right now
I
the
guess.
brand is hot, so sell while it's high.
Right.
Like when
I guess that's true.
How have they made any money from D&D?
There's no Baldur's Gate 4 coming out, and they're like, yeah.
Well, the thing is, they didn't like WotC didn't develop Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Lorien Studios did.
Yeah.
They just
it was just the licensing.
exactly. So like, you know, Lorien cannot like turn around and make Baldur's Gate 4. It took how long to make Baldur's Gate 3?
Like a decade.
So yeah, the WotC's looking to get or Hasbro's
That's
looking
interesting. Yeah.
to get their money now.
I'm looking at what the Hasbro IPs. They got some stuff like Peppa Pig, My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah.
They got that. They also have Action Man. Here's one that they should fucking get into. Axes and Allies. World War II movies sell no matter what. So just fucking make that. There's your cinematic jumping point.
Yeah.
Axes and fucking Allies. You can get a World War II, look, existing IP plus World War II movie. You can sell that to somebody.
Yeah. And
Fucking get this shit off the ground.
Give the reins back to Michael Bay, okay? Just give it back. He loves that fucking shit.
I can't wait for like Yawgmoth to like start doing the Dachau work camp combo.
Oh god.
I can't make a joke like that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Where did Nina go, Zach? Where'd you
I think she got bored of Magic. She was like, all right, I'm done.
Belly, can you keep going on Michael Bay? I just want to hear what you have to say about this show.
I think Transformers 3 is like should be in the Library of Congress. Like that movie fucking rocks. If you haven't watched it recently. That was like, I think, did he only do 3 for Hasbro and Transformers? I don't
know. There was
they brought him back. Yeah,
there was one with Leonard Nimoy. There was.
Yeah.
It's Dark of the Moon. Is that Leonard?
Yeah,
Nimoy?
That's the third one.
Where it's like, yeah, it's the one where, is it?
I would highly recommend going, if you're a movie person, to go back and revisit the third one, because it like every clip, every scene is like 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds long. Like it just cut. The whole, it's like the most frenetic pace I've ever seen. I think he's a fascinating, creative to investigate.
Ambulance or whatever that movie was.
Ambulance.
Yeah, that was a more recent Michael Bay. Like,
I'm happy he exists. That's one of those things. We need this type of movie, because it's like there's like superheroes you get the big like CGI laser fight and stuff, but you don't get like just metal crashing into it.
Yeah.
It's
also like, I'm thinking about it now, like he fucking loves the military and portraying the military and like as a character and as a theme, but like it's so over the top, and like you didn't see the U.S. State Department like be like sponsor like in the way
I
that
bet
like
there was a
they
State Department guy being like, "Hey, Mike, maybe dial it back a bit." Like we're going a little.
like they for sure used Marvel to like I don't know promo military shit, but they don't use Transformers because it's just so over the top that it's like,
100% use Transformers.
What's that?
The U.S. military sponsors a ton of film.
Right. But like,
you're saying they don't sponsor Transformers?
No, I'm saying they definitely like collaborated and like Michael Bay fucking.
I don't think they have to sponsor. Michael Bay just does it.
yeah. Michael Bay would do it in a vacuum.
I'm thinking back now, and the first time I ever saw a drone was in the first Transformers movie, and I like my friends. I was watching it with my friend and his dad. His dad's kind of like, like a pretty no nonsense guy, like a guy, military dude. He nudges me and he's like, "That right there, that is death in the sky." He's like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's like that is one of the most dangerous weapons in the U.S. arsenal. I'd never seen one before, and then sure, this was 2007. So
didn't Michael Bay also do Battleships, like the movie based off of the game Battleships?
I don't think he did Battleships. Battleships was a different. I'm looking at his filmography right now. It's not on there.
Maybe here's the thesis I was getting at, Zach. Like, do you think the amount of people who saw Transformers and then joined the military is more than the amount of people who saw like any Marvel movie and then joined the military?
Oh, yeah, I think that's a good point. Honestly, I don't think that's like really influenced someone either way, right? Like,
I think Marvel. I don't know. I think some superhero movies are pretty fucking jingoistic.
I think Iron Man for sure. Iron Man and like Iron Man 1 and 2 are like pretty pro-military.
Well, I mean, like the first one was kind of him about like regretting selling weapons. You don't. That's a pretty like to go against like the military-industrial complex.
Like the good weapons arms guy, like
I know. I'm not saying it's perfect. You gotta like fish for scraps when it comes to Hollywood, and like not sucking off fucking Raytheon. Like you gotta take, like, he was a weapons manufacturer, and then his issue is he saw like his weapons being used by terrorists. But like it's still like, hey, how these weapons end up in the hands of bad people, which is something that a lot of the weapons we send to people happens to those weapons,
Or it's like that. Here's another like I don't know exactly what I'm getting. I have to think about this more, Zach. It's a working theory, but like the fucking Israeli superhero that was,
oh yeah, they're making one
for like
Woman?
No,
There's Captain Israel.
Well, yes, or there's in Marvel. There's Sabra, I think.
Right.
Which I don't know if
isn't that a hummus? Isn't that hummus? That's hummus.
Well, okay. It's a brand of.
No way did they name a
Zach
superhero after. Oh shit! They named. Wait, did Sabra come first, or did Sabra the hummus come first?
Okay. All right. It sucks that I have to like explain Israeli shit on the podcast. But Sabra in Hebrew or in Israel, I think it's the name for a cactus, and it's become a term in Israel for being like tough and surviving in the desert. It's like a metaphor that they are like a Sabra. They're tough.
What does that have to do with hummus?
So, but the
Israeli name for
brand
chickpea
is owned by Israeli Americans, and so they have named it after this nickname for Israelis as Sabra.
It's a very common. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
I got so excited.
There's also named Sabra. It's like an Israeli nickname.
Okay. God, I got so excited for a sec, Zach. I'm just picturing some dude it's like 1980. He's like sketchy. He's like sketching like the sexiest woman he can think of. And he puts like the Star of David on there. It's like, all right, I got a Jewish superhero. What are we gonna name her? And then he looks over at like a stack of pita chips and an empty carton of dip, and he's like, "Yeah, I got it, Sabra." And then he kisses it.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for that magic expansion. for
Oh,
when we do the
God.
War in Middle East Magic expansion.
We haven't done real world conflicts yet. Then I'm actually happy that they're going to start with like the Battle of Normandy. I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, if they do World War II, like if they're really scraping the bottle of the
They can do
bucket
Axis and Allies.
Yeah,
It's not
that shit would
technically.
that shit would pop off. Think about how many people they could bring in, how many new.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys cool if I play my Adolf Hitler commander?
I mean, we got the vehicle mechanic.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like a
Holy-
completely different market, like customer base that
Yeah,
they could fucking.
dude, that's untapped.
Hook.
There's a vein there.
Holy
There's a
fuck.
vein of slop ready to be.
World War II, then they'd go back to the great. They'd do World War One, then they'd do
Sure.
Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
And
you
then-
know what's like Clarence Clearwater revival?
You know what I actually want to see from Magic? I don't think they've done. This is kind of like they famously, didn't like what they. Okay, basically, there's this period in history, like I want to say, like late 16th century to like 17th century, kind of, where it was like knights with guns. Or like black powder has been in Europe since like the 1400s.
Right.
So like there was like there was a
there
period
was
in time
overlap.
where there was like we need knights with guns. We need a knights with guns Magic set. That'd
Well,
be so
here's the thing. The next Magic set tour is the long-awaited Western set. That's coming out.
No.
That's coming out this summer, or I guess maybe like I don't know, like April or something. It might be come out.
Wait, what magical race is gonna represent
Oh
the Native
no!
Americans?
I think they're gonna dodge that. I think they're not.
Okay.
It's just
I-
all cowboys.
I think it's gonna be all Cowboys. I think.
Okay.
And
They're going into an uninhabited wasteland. Nothing
yes,
there,
exactly.
folks.
And I think
Going out into the unknown.
Do you guys know what the set's called?
High noon.
Outlaws at Thunder Junction.
Oh god.
Oh, I did look this up. Yeah.
that has Mark Rosewater
Thunder
written all
Junction.
over it.
What is this, my gooch? That's right.
What is it called?
It's the junk, because of farts.
Wow.
Yeah, the
I'm not-
junction between your cock
Oh,
and
there's a
ball.
junction near my ass. So,
I'm invigorated right now with all this Magic talk.
It's fun. I'll be honest. What is great about like just playing all this Magic and like talking to people? I heard some insane takes over the weekend. Like,
all right,
people,
let me hear them. I love them.
Okay. I heard people saying that a violent outburst should be banned, like the instant speed cascade card. It's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. It's just like a weird thing to be like that specific card is the problem. I heard people. Okay, this one guy. The most insane thing that I think I heard over the weekend was drafting. I didn't make day 2, so I drafted on Sunday. And in my first draft pad, this one guy was talking about how he said that he read the metagame. He knew that the Rhinos was going to be the most popular deck on the weekend. So he was practicing Living End. Living End is naturally good against Rhinos. Then he was thinking,
Wait, really quick. Violent Outburst is $11 card.
Violent Outburst is $11? I can't imagine that. Really?
I'm on TCG Player. Hold on, I'll share the screen with you. Yeah. Sorry, the only reason I say that is because I have bunches of Violent Outbursts.
Oh yeah, I mean it is a very popular card in Modern right now, and it is from your favorite block, Alara. So
yeah, it is.
That
My favorite block's Lorwyn, but I'm fond of Alara too.
That art fucking rocks.
Oh, like the
little dude.
I love those dudes.
Yeah. But this guy, he just goes.
This is very X-Files. To bring it all back.
So the guy goes, yeah. I started practicing Living End because I thought that I knew the metagame was all going to be Rhinos. But then I thought everyone's going to play Living End. So I needed to play a deck that hits Living End. So I switched to Burn.
Counter to the counter. Always good. Well, let me guess. Burn is kind of weak against Teamwork Rhinos.
Burn is just kind of weak against a lot of things.
Everything's just
Oh, God.
subpar.
Cover your
deck.
ears, Ben. Cover your
Sorry,
ears.
Ben. But, Modern Horizons 3 is going to come out, and Burn will be tier 1 again. It's just been it's been many years since Burn has gotten a new tool.
So, wow. I this art. I fucking love this art. I can't. Listener, go check out Violent Outburst, the art for it, or check out our podcast, or check out our YouTube.
Yeah.
Or
check
our
out
Twitch.
Belly's stream. Belly's going to be streaming.
Twitch.tv/BellyTelevision. Not this week, but every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Heck yeah. This is like kind of us. Today.
This is us.
Yeah, the three of us.
Hell
and Mike,
yeah.
Mike is.
Should we name the ebb Violent Outburst
Yes.
as a aspirational?
I mean,
Yes.
here's the thing.
Have one violent outburst this week, everyone. You know, don't put hands on anyone, but you know, maybe scare someone a little.
I will say that
Punch a wall, kick it in drywall for.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For us.
Cascade has had an excellent weekend. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, because it's fucking OP. Holy.
Yeah, it is OP. We'll see. And also, like, you know, the bands of Fury and other pieces have made it a lot better. I mean, that's not to say that, like, it was the best deck of the weekend, because, like, there are other decks that did very well, like 4-Color Creativity did really well. You know, there were some, like, non-Cascade decks that, like, had really good performances. But, like, yeah, I think if you are playing a modern event, you need a plan for dealing with either these new builds of Rhinos or Living End, because I think that's kind of the top of the metagame.
Wow.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep. From the man himself, Zach Kagan.
I'm excited to play more Constructed. I'll do more Constructed on stream. I'm going to be doing Standard for the next 2 weeks.
Twitch.tv/ZAKAGN. Zach Kagan.
Kagan. All right, lads.
All right, lads.
It's time for me to eat.
We love you so
See
much.
you later.
I love you,
all.
I love you,
Goodbye.
Violent Outburst.